Hey guys, this is Charles with Historical Gaming, and tonight I was watching Mad Men, and it reminded me of how much I really like this game. Now, if you like Twilight Struggle, you're going to like this game. It's got a very similar concept as far as control over the country, and it's between Kennedy and Nixon during 1960, which I didn't realize how close of a race it was until recently I was watching Mad Men, and there was a lot of conversation and controversy about Nixon and Kennedy and all that stuff going on. But it's the same designers who made Twilight Struggle, and if you get a chance to check out this game, it's really nice. And it's too bad it's out of print and hard to find, because I think every school system, every classroom should go through this at least once to show how the electoral vote process works, to show the different events in history. And since it makes it into a game, you're playing these cards and you're trying to make decisions on how you're going to impact the election by doing certain things during the game. So let's take a look at the components real quick. So as soon as you see the map, you can see the similarities between Twilight Struggle, sort of, and this game. Now, the Twilight Struggle is very geographically dependent, and this one is about taking control of areas and regions and getting these electoral votes, which are in the top right of every state. And there's also seals included into the game. Each state seal is included, and the number of points is on the back side of it. So you place all those state seals on there, and as your guy takes those states, you get those seals, and then you at the end of the game you tally those points up. You want to find out who won. There's the cards are similar to Twilight Struggle as far as there's events that can happen. You can pay I can't remember what the endorsements. I think it's called endorsements. You can gain these momentum markers, and you can pay in momentum markers to stop people from playing cards. The CP are what drive the game. So you could take 4 CP, and if your guy Nixon is in a state here, and he wants to play 4 CP just for the CP, he can put 4 markers there and control that state. So once you have 4 cubes in there, that's considered controlled, and you would get that state marker unless somebody came back and took it from you and stuff. So the events, there's election day events. Nixon's pledge: for the remainder of the turn, the Kennedy player gains 1 momentum marker whenever the Nixon player plays a card as anything other than a campaigning action. There's Fidel Castro: the leader in defense gain 1 momentum marker and 1 state support in Florida. So these are the issues tracks, and they can slide up and down and move back and forth. And there is a issues track phase during the debates and during the final election for that these can shift back and forth, and there's some cubes to be gained that way. There's advertising and media, which can affect the game. There's persistent events up here, and there's debate events and election day events. And here's the turn track down here and how many cards you get in your hand. But the best thing is that, just like Twilight Struggle, is the cards. The things that happen in these cards, and every time you see one of these, you'll be like, that's awesome. I forgot about that. Or I was born in 1964, so these these events were a little older for me, but it's kind of interesting to see these things that I've heard of and kind of intrigued me to learn more about it. I actually have the book here. I haven't read it yet, called the 1960 Making of the President. But once you see this book, you'll see why I haven't read it. It's pretty thick. But maybe one day I'll get around to it. It was an incredible election. It's an incredible piece of history, and this game does a great job of teaching how the electoral vote process and the history tied into the presidents and the presidential campaigns, and just all the things that happened in 1960. So if you get a chance to play this, I really hope you do. Good luck on finding a copy. If you do get a first edition, it's basically the same thing as the second edition, except the rule book is more updated. And if you write a letter to Z-Man Games, they will send you out the second edition book for free. And I thought that was very nice of them. So I hope you get a chance to play, and take care.